Hey guys, my name is Joni and this is Branching Business. In this video I wanna talk a little about Jordan Peterson and what I think about him. So Jordan Peterson is a psychologist and he's a very controversial person, and I've read some of his books. I actually bought his book called 12 Rules for Life, and then I've also read his book called Beyond Order, and I think that some of his advice is really good. So in 12 Rules for Life he has plenty of rules, and I really like some of these rules. For example, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today, is a really good advice. And there are other good rules as well. There is, for example, make friends with people who want the best for you, and be precise in your speech. And yeah, perhaps my favorite rule is rule number 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. And that's a really good metaphor, so I try to do that myself. I try to keep my house and my rooms tidy and my thoughts organized before I criticize the world. Those tips or rules are really good in my opinion, but there are some of rules that are not gonna make you successful. And if I were to write a book like that, I wouldn't include some of the rules myself in that kind of book. For example, rule number 1, stand up straight with your shoulders back. I kinda understand where he's coming from with that rule, but it's not gonna make you successful in life. If you stand up straight or sit up straight, it's not gonna make you very successful. You need more than that. So some of these rules are pretty funny actually. They are not gonna help you that much. It's just Jordan apparently wanted to write some deep stories and deep philosophy behind what's behind his thinking, but these rules are not gonna be very effective. But yeah, you should definitely be very organized in your life. You should try to be as precise in your words as possible. And I speak Finnish, so I kinda struggle with English, so I'm not always the best example on that front. But in Finnish I'm somewhat more precise with my words, and I try to be precise with my words in English too. But that's really good advice, because if people were more focused on their words, they would speak less nonsense, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Jordan has written some good texts, but there are also some texts that are really boring, and his book Beyond Order was borderline boring. I was barely able to read it, but it was worse than 12 Rules for Life, and I haven't read The Maps of Meaning, because it was too long. And yeah, so I don't mind that he he uses biblical themes in his books, that's not too much bothering me, but many of the things he could definitely say without constant references to the Bible. And so about Jordan Peterson, I think that perhaps after he went political, I think that he has perhaps changed as a person, and now he's more certain about his views, and there's less room for mental, how should I put it, for mental research and mental exploration. He's more convinced that he is right, and I don't know, he looks as if he already knows everything in this world. Now it wasn't always the case. So previously he was really how should I put it, he was giving very good presentations, and he was precise with his words and without too much passion. Now he seems like he's preaching to his audience, and that can really cloud judgment when you're too passionate about what you're saying. So I think he has definitely changed as a person, and so previously he was passionate about what he was studying and what he was finding out about the world. So he was passionate about that, but now it seems like he's mostly passionate about political life, and I think it's partly his own fault for making his life so political. And when you are a person who does deep research about human nature and about psychology, then eventually you're gonna be in a situation where some of people turn against you. It's inevitable that some people will not like about what you have to say, and especially during these later parts of Jordan's career, he has left that strictly scientific basis for his argumentation and opinions, and now it's more and more about other things than science. But so I don't feel anything about his situation really. I don't have any feelings, positive or negative feelings. I just don't feel anything that deep about his persona. But I think that if you're interested in his ideas, then you should give those ideas a try and see if they can change your own way of thinking. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks. I hope I'll see you in one of my future videos. Thanks. Bye bye.